Hello everyone, my name is Chris and today we'll be going over rising temperature, which is Leetcode database problem number 197. When we first log in, we'll see that we have a table named weather and it has the column names ID, record date, and temperature. If we look at our prompt, we'll see that from this table we're expected to return all dates, which is assigned the delineator ID, with higher temperatures compared to its previous dates. Um, so when we first think of this, we're going to see, oh, it wants us to compare rows from the same table. So this is a good time to use a dot notation and just call the same table twice, giving it two separate delineators. So that way you can just go and compare individual lines to each other in the same table. And this is a fairly common thing to do in SQL. So when we look at our example test case, we'll see that we're given 3 rows and expected to turn that into 1 row, which is just the ID instead, and to not return record date or temperature. But we're going to need to use both of those in our select statement to select the correct IDs. So we'll see that in the output, they return 2 and 4, which makes sense with our prompt because 25 is greater than 10 and the date increased. 3 is not returned because 25 is greater than 20, but the date increased. So in this case, we don't select 3 because there was a decrease in temperature with an increase in date. So we can just go ahead and set this up like a regular select statement. So we just do select from and where. We can't really start with our select statement because we first need to see where we're calling from. So in this case, we're just going to call the table twice, the same table, and give it 2 different delineators so that we can compare that table to itself. So in this case, I'll just do W1. We'll just do weather. And then put beside that W1, which is going to rename that table and allow us to call it using just W1. And then we'll put a comma and just do weather and W2. So now whenever we think about what we're going to want to call with our select, we'll just do w1.id. And whenever you do a comparison like this, it doesn't really matter which of the same table you put. In our where statement, we're going to use something new. It's a function called datediff, which is just going to allow you to tell the difference between 2 dates. So in this case, it'll be able to tell us if the date incremented by 1. So we're only looking for record dates where the date incremented by 1. So in this case, we're going to do datediff. And datediff takes 2 arguments, which are just the 2 dates it's comparing. So we're going to do w1 dot record date. And then we're also going to do w2 dot record date. And it's just going to compare these 2 dates, and then we can put equals, and then we want the amount of days between those 2 record dates to be 1. If you were to do 2, you would be doing something like comparing ID1 to ID3 or ID2 to ID4, which isn't what we want to do in this case. And now from this, we're looking pretty good, but we also want to say we want to see the temperature increase between these 2 dates. So we can just do that with a simple greater than operator, and then also take advantage of the 2 tables we've created. So in this case, we can do and, because you want both arguments to be true, you want the date diff to be 1, and the temperature to increase between those 2 dates. So in this case, we'll do w1 dot temperature, and we want that to be greater than w2 dot temperature. And now when we run this code, we should see that our problem solved. And we do indeed get 2 and 4, which are the correct answers in this case. And this will also work with any other test case. So this has been an introduction to DateDiff. So this was my solution to Leetcode number 197, which is rising temperature. And I would like to thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe if you found this helpful, as I'll be going through more Leetcode database problems in the future. And then also, if you found this particular problem helpful, please leave a like, and also leave a comment and tell me if you would have approached this question in a different manner, or if you have any suggestions of what I should solve next. Thank you.